Aha! Yes, we're nearly there. Nearly there. I'm just making sure that, yeah, we've got the MikroTiks running down on the bottom there. It's a bit ad-lib as we go on this one, I'm afraid, because I do like a bit of audience participation, and I'm sure you'll all have a good old play with this when we get on with it. Looking at the time, I've got 13 minutes yet before I'm due to start. I'm a stickler for time. He's looking now, he's just checking. Okay, let me just wedge that into a corner. Don't move. Right, dynamic firewalling by me. Bit of an ambiguous title. A bit like me, I'm just ambiguous as well. More on the big than the amb. Not even a titter. Me, all this IT. I'm an independent. I deal with hosting. I have a WISP. I cover about 40, 50 odd people around my area in hard to reach areas where we sort of guarantee them at least sort of 10 to 15 megabit, and they are more than happy when BT is only providing around about half a megabit. Consultancy, shirt says it all really, in so much that I do an awful lot now with the MikroTik consultancy side of things. Always on the phone, always getting sort of requests to help. And then there's the MikroTik training. I am an independent trainer, not associated with anybody but myself. Although, you know, if you ever need training in any of the companies, I'm available. Come see me afterwards. Right, next bit, that's my introduction. The problem I've got, this is what I'm trying to develop. This is all to do really around my WISP. That I wanted to add an extra layer of security from network scans, viral scripts, etc., etc., etc. And I wanted it to be a little bit, I wouldn't say unique, but a little bit more flexible. Everybody's network is different. I wanted to make sure that I had some sort of flexibility in that respect. And to give you an idea of how my network is sort of situated and constructed, I have various nodes around the town. I have various sort of points of internet that come in, as in FTTC connections and so forth. And each one of these little arrows just sort of represents a dummy end user. Now, security-wise, simplest answer, firewall the lot. Right at the beginning, down here, nobody's going to touch my end users. We all know that's not exactly the easiest way to go about things, because 9 times out of 10, what happens? You'll get an end user that wants to be different. And they want a hole put in your firewall so that they can run their own mail server. Or somebody else then wants to run their own IRC server somewhere else down the network. Oh, and somebody else now wants to run something else here, and they've got that, and they've got this, and can you open up this firewall? So ultimately, you've got holes everywhere. And lo and behold, you may as well give up. You've got Swiss cheese as a firewall. Full of holes, absolutely useless, and what was the point? So, solutions. Yeah, don't allow any ports open in the first place. Customers always like being told no, don't they? They love it. Migrate the user to another WISP. Always possible, has been known. Or we have to be a little bit more flexible and think on the hoof and think, how can we get this sorted? We firewall them all on their own separate firewalls. Problem solved. No, not really. If we had control of those firewalls, great. You know, if we said to the user, here's our router, a bit like Sky does, you can't mess with it, it's locked. Nothing else can happen to it. You're covered. But as you can appreciate with the smaller independents, the guys, you know, we all have to sort of be a little bit more flexible in what the end user wants. And before you know it, guess what happens? They want to put their own router on the end of the network. And that router's just not any good, is it? Because 9 times out of 10, it'll be default username, default password. So all that effort of trying to make sure that they're all secure with their own firewalls has just gone out the window. Totally useless. So, this was my thinking. We can start working out what the bad traffic is coming in to the edge routers on the input chain. From that information, we can then start looking at firewalling the forwarding information. Simple detection. This is our input chain. It's a rough sort of setup that I've got. And I'm basically setting it up with blacklisting, whitelisting. Let's go back a little bit. So we effectively set everything that comes in. If we know it's a bad IP that's coming in, we've got somebody scanning, we can add it to the forward firewall. We can stop that then passing through to the end users. I started with a bit of a technique with all my end users, if they've all got static IPs, but what I tend to do is the beginning IP of that range, I stick on that router. Most viral scripts start at the bottom of the numbers and work their way up. So they'll start at .1, then they'll go to .2, then they go to .3. So this effectively becomes the sacrificial end. This is the bit that normally sees the viruses and the attacks first. So from that point, we now know that everything that's coming in from that IP into here is more than likely going to want to go through to the end user. So we just blacklist it on the input, and we can also pass that also to the forward chain as well. So that end user on all of the whole network is now protected from that one viral scan that's just come in. SSH scans, same thing. Logins to Telnet, same thing. Using this as the sacrificial router at the edge to pick up on those particular scans, we can start building up a blacklist to protect the rest on the forward table. So that's the simple concept. To me, it's simple anyway. Hopefully it's getting through to everybody out there as well. Usual sort of setup of firewall. Forward established, let it through. Allow forward regardless of rules. That's from the whitelist. Let it through. Allow regardless of the rules. You know, don't care, we don't want to block them because they'll get really funny with us, so just let them through regardless. And so on, and then just drop everything else. Simple, 5, maybe 4 rules now, because I think it can all be truncated a little bit. And I've got all the jump chains. These are all the different types of sensing of bad traffic that we can utilize. That's just a screenshot. I'm hoping we can do a little bit of live demo now. I'm going to try and spin over to, let's see if I can come out of that screen for the moment. I do have a live one. There should be a Wi-Fi SSID out there called Site A. Let's just lock into the router board itself. And I will remove the security of it so you can log in without a password. And I'm hoping that we can get a little bit of activity going on, if I can log in. And logging in is just sitting there, twiddle your thumbs. It always happens when it's live. Here we go, right. I'm going to drag that across to there. Let's go with a live window. And I'm just double checking that I haven't left anything. Let's hide the passwords because this is a bit ad hoc. And security profiles, interfaces. Oh, still got Slovenia. That's the wrong router board. That was the last time this was set up. That's the wrong router board. Which one's that? That's 600 or 800? 800. Shouldn't be on Slovenia. Don't know why it is. I did load up the right package. Well, let's get rid of that. Hopefully you should be able to log in, and I'm just now going to make sure we have a DCPH server running on that for you. Hey, there we go. Nothing like a bit of live entertainment, is there? All watching MAC addresses and lease tables. Somebody's playing. Look, we've got loads of people. So, At the moment, I have no security enabled whatsoever as regarding protecting the rest of my network. Hopefully my router itself is protected. Let's go back down to my firewall and my filter rules, and let's start looking at something to play with. Okay, let's switch on the DNS ones, because people love messing with DNS. Let's see what happens now with the address lists. I'm hoping eventually we'll start to see anybody trying to get a DNS request that it will start popping up in the blacklist. Maybe not. Is that something else? Anybody got a port scanner? Don't all shout at once. Yeah. That's it. That's right. Let's enable that one. Let's hope it does something. Well, this is good. This just goes to show you should never work with children, animals, or router boards live on stage. Aha! It's triggered. Something's triggered it. We have a blacklisted person at last. Whoever has 229. Who's got 229? Yeah. Anybody own up to that one? Who's been scanning my router? You've been blacklisted. That's just one of many, many filters you can start putting on there. Admittedly, some of these have been acquired from the internet and manipulated and altered accordingly. That's a DOS one. We'll switch that one on as well. How about the brute force attacks? Who wants to try and log in to various different services that are likely to be running? We'll just open that up just so that you know what ports we are looking to. No, wrong one. Look at that, loads and loads. Oh, we got a few more. Oh, look, attempt 1 and attempt 2, your third attempt, and you will be blacklisted with any luck. You're all very quiet out there. I thought I'd hear keyboards all clacking away while you're sort of having a go at it. But you're getting the idea. It's picking it up, it's registering, it's blacklisting you, and that blacklist now is applied to the forward chain. Meaning, whatever has just hit my router, which is likely to go to the next IP in the sequence, can now be stopped before it even gets to the end user, and they are totally unaware of it, totally blissfully unaware that you've just stopped an SSH attack, or a telnet attack, or any other of the viral scripts that you can find and add to the list out there. Great, we've solved it, we've got everything covered. No, let's start sharing that information. That information now could be passed on. Let me see if I'll just pull up my, where's my mouse gone? There it is. Let's pull back up the presentation. Back to the diagram. Where are we? Yes, we fired them all off, but I've also got another router over here that the users connect to. Different subnet range, but we can use the information from these routers, which have just picked up those scans, pop the information over to there. How do we do that? Lots and lots of choices. To keep it simple for my purposes, I have OSPF running across all of this lot. So I've already got routes being passed around my network. How can I put the blacklist as a black hole? Simple. It is to me anyway, and now I've realized how. Black hole the blacklist. We transfer all those dodgy blacklisted IPs into a black hole. It's not the best way to do it. It can upset the route table occasionally. If you've got loads and loads happening every 30 seconds and the table's constantly changing, it might affect things. But depending on how you set the timeout on your blacklist, I mean, I tend to say, well, if it's a dodgy IP, give it a week, because it takes that long for a lot of them to get sorted out and cleaned up. And if somebody else is complaining, saying, oh, we can't reach your services, or what's your IP? So, okay, yeah, I can see why you were blacklisted. If you've cleaned yourself up, will open it up. You can then remove it from the blacklist, on yourself as a manual process. But generally speaking, I tend to put a 7-day block on most of these dodgy IPs. Again, you see, I know they're trying to get to my router, which means they're more than likely to be a script. It's not going to be somebody deliberately trying to log into their own systems. They've been trying to get into mine. So block them, and they're blocked from the rest of the network. So black hole the blacklist. How do we do that? We script it. Oh yeah, we've done that. The bit behind the scenes, scripting. You can't read that, can you? The magic bit. Don't worry, I will release the script out on a link later on. But it won't be up here at the moment. But what I'm going to try and do is see if we can actually now pass that through to a second router board. Hopefully it's all working, he says. Fingers crossed. I have another router board sat down here that's marked up as Site B. Anybody see Site B? I can't see Site B because I haven't connected to it yet. Let's see if I can get to it that way. Oh, Romon's working. I have another router. It is attached to the system on an OSPF, as it would be in the real world, as what I would be doing on that situation. Again, you could probably use IBGP if you wanted to pass the route table through. There's various combinations, but I use the OSPF on this particular instance. Oh, didn't want to do that. Wrong window. Where are we? Totally professional. Right. This should be a different one. It is, because we've still got all that lot enabled. Where's my mouse? System. I'm just double checking it is actually the one I think it is. Site A, so that must be Site B. I'm trying to get the blacklist to go through. Routing, routes. So, if you want to carry on attacking Site A, I will make sure that that is registering across the table, and we should start to see on that table, Saved by the Bell. That silence is deafening. Do we see any in there? I see a few. We've got 3. They've been passed over onto the route list. 3 black holes on Site B. Been fed through OSPF. So whoever's got 216, 220 and 229 won't be able to get through on the B antenna either, because they've been blocked by passing that routing information across the route table. I see a few nods. Any questions on that? Does it make sense? Yeah, good. That was the main thing. The rules on this one, the black hole routes. I'm just trying to. It's classed as an OSPF route on here because the black hole is actually on the primary. So if I whiz that across now on this one, you should be able to see that it has been deemed as a black hole route. Here's Site A, and we go into, I hate touchpads on laptops. Where's the routes? There it is. Black hole. So what it's done, it's taken that information on the OSPF table, thrown it over to the other one. So what will happen now is it will just get black holed. That traffic won't get through to anybody, only those routers with those particular tables. It's not the neatest of solutions, but it stops a lot of messing about. Yeah, it's a quick, I wouldn't say it's crude, but I mean, there are ways you can tidy it up. It's a lot easier to sort of clean up, and there's a lot of options to sort of add to it. But when I was looking for a free solution, rather than sort of the pay-for options of black holing and so forth, I found this works really well. I've expanded a little bit more now. I've actually got 4 inputs coming in, and all 4 now share the same information. No matter which one gets attacked first, all 4 will respond. And I do see within 10, 15 minutes the same attack appearing on other routers coming in from other sources. So it's a good defense. It does work well. The script itself, let's see if I can, it's not that big a script. It was a bit of a hash of one of my own. Let's see if I can open it up in one of the router boards, you'll be able to see it. I've got no problems in sharing it, because as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather people be protected than... Can you explain how router B stops the traffic? Sorry. It doesn't stop the traffic, it'll pass it through to the black hole, effectively. So the black hole, whichever the router has got the black hole, traffic goes to there. Yes, there is a bit of a downfall. What I need to do is expand on that now and then make that black hole appear on the others, rather than passing it through. As I said, this really was just a crude method to sort of stop this stuff. System, where are we? We are looking for scripts, the black hole script. Let's whiz that up a bit. Not a great deal to it. First bit, looks at the blacklist, reads the blacklist, and then drops it into a black hole route. And then there's a second part that after a period of time, that same script will also read to see if the black hole route doesn't exist in the blacklist, it will now remove it. I've got it on a very, very quick schedule to sort of keep the flow moving and make sure that people have a go, et cetera, on this. But I do find that you can adjust the timings on it as whether you want that black hole to be removed within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or even, I tend to leave them up for a week. You can adjust all the timings basically within, let's pull the firewall back up. Oh, there's nothing in there now. Where are we? It's a bit further down, it's off the edge of the screen. Let's find the scroller. There we are. All the bits that do it. DNS protection, let's have a look at that one. Timeout, I've got it set as a minute, purely so that it resets itself quickly from this demonstration. But put the timeout there to 7 days, and it will take 7 days before that is allowed back into that network again. The schedule that runs this, very simply, anything coming in on UDP 17, destination port 53, I don't want it. I only want, obviously, anything else that's in the whitelist will automatically get through. So anybody on my internal network won't be blocked straight away. Anything else, block it. It's not wanted. Instantly, you know damn well these people are probing. Sorry? The whitelist is manual at the moment, yeah. I haven't really got round to doing an automated setup. Generally speaking, the whitelist needs manual intervention anyway. I'd rather know what I'm putting in there rather than having some automated script suddenly let everything in and... Yeah? How do you deal with spoofed IPs? It's black-holed. As I said, this is a very... Yeah. I don't use 8.8.8 anyway, but yes, I see where you're coming from if it's spoofed, yeah. You will soon start getting the phone calls. Yeah, you'll get the phone calls. You've blocked 8.8.8. Okay, let's have a look what's going on. And yes, it will be removed. But say this is really more of a simplistic setup to start doing a little bit more active security for free. And utilising all the different aspects of the script, the firewalling, the activity of it, and combining various different functionality of the router OS. Sorry, say again, sorry. Yeah. There will be local, yes, locally. The one router at the moment will traverse across 2 links to black hole it, where it's actually registered. But that eventually I will get around to rewriting the script so that the black hole gets placed on the other router as well, rather than it saying black hole's over there.
Your router fills up with black hole traffic. Your network fills up.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going. To be honest, I'm learning because obviously the more holes you pick up, the more I'm clocking. Oh, I missed that bit. So I learn all the time. As I said, my main concept on this was to provide you with a base to work with. And obviously you'll find you're picking up on the bits that it can't catch. Any more? Oh, looks like I'm pretty much done then. Yeah. I've just about done my 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Barry.
Thank you. I'm just going to pull up that web address so that you can grab it later if you're interested, although it'll be on the slides later. I'll do it then.